transfer those answer to your Word file. You just need to write it down, true, false, T, F, it's like that, right? So I'm going to minimize all those noises, or I don't have, I don't have that camera, I'm not doing like this, I don't have scanner or something. So I'm just going to eliminate all these stuff. So I'm going to be very simple. So all I need to do, I want to test your concepts. That's it. So that is a major chunk. I would say 70 to 80% belongs to true false MCQs. Any question?
So is it gonna be on the PB, or you are just gonna send the file?
It's going to be on, this is going to be on PDF, part one when I upload it. But when I going to upload the answer sheet, like this one is the document file, Word file. You can double click it, and then you can just write your name, student ID, start typing the answer. That's it.
No handwriting, I mean.
You can do that if you have
But
email.
I mean, not necessarily to do with handwriting.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I got it.
I'm talking about part one. I didn't start it to part two. Okay, part one, right? Part
Okay.
one, they're going to be true, false, and MCQs questions. And all you have to do, the ideal situation, okay, so because I need to narrow down, or possibly, because I cannot say that I'm going to be 100% eliminated the factor, cheating factor, but I would try my best to be fair and just with every student. So I would be minimizing the opportunity for cheating by giving you a time limit. For example, they're going to be 50 questions, so I'm going to give you 45 minutes or 50 minutes to solve this question. Plus, they're going to be necessary requirement of your camera and microphone must be on. In no time you would be turning off your camera or muting your microphone. No way. Lecture is going to be recorded, and I'm going to be having a proof if you are having some kind of doing some activities. I'm going to be catching you this one. Okay, you are not turning on your camera, muting your microphone, having chatting with others. No,
But I want to say something about the microphone. The issue is sometimes like there's noises or echo sounds that.
you can mute your speakers,
Oh, I can.
right?
Okay, I'm confused. How can I mute my speaker and cannot mute my microphone? Like,
No, you just like lower the volume of your laptop.
Mute your
no,
volume.
yeah, but for example, I live in a house with 3 people. I cannot promise they won't be noisy in the time of the exam. So
No, I'm just talking about some, if, for example, in your house there's a puppy or your pet or your cat. At that time, she's very, naughty and just making noise. Or you live by a roadside, there's going to be a traffic, so there are going to be noises. I understand that. So how the other person who is not having any noise, but still he's hearing some kind of noise. So all you have to do to just lower your volume to 0 or mute your volume, speaker volume.
okay, makes sense.
But you cannot mute your microphone. That would be a requirement, right? So in all other lectures except midterm and final, if you do not turn on your camera, or you don't like to be unmute your microphone, it's okay, it's perfectly fine, right? So guys, please do understand my situation as well. Okay, for some people it looks childish. Okay, we are in university students, so you need to trust us. We are not a school, children. So I need to be very honest and very just so that I can create a equity and fairness for all our class members. Okay, so please guys, forgive me if I'm having too harsh on you, right? So how I'm going to be testing you, to minimize the window of cheating, I'm going to be giving you a time limit. So ideally, in order to do all the question in that time limit, what you have to do, take out a page, read the question, write it down the answer. Okay, first one is true, false, right? So that you can have ample time. You click the answer sheet, and all you have to do, you put the answers in the box. That's it. But believe me, I'm going to give you enough time. If you know, I'm going to give you enough time to write down the answers and send me the file. Right? I have experience of this. This is my 4th semester with the online teaching, so I know students can do that. And the previous history shows that students did well. They completed all the true, false, and MCQs in given time. Right? So similarly, like we did, like we are doing in our assignments, you need to rename your answer sheet file, your name, part 1, midterm, your name, and then student ID. That's it. So that, when you start sending your answer sheets, so that it's not overwrite. You understand my point?
Yep.
Okay. And then we are going to have our part 2. Let me just erase all this mess here. So part 2. In part 2, I'm going to be giving you some short questions. Like I gave you the assignments, not more than 3-line answer. If you can answer me in 1 line, which is very concise and can explain the solution enough, you don't need to write anything. And that would be from ePen or pen, not typed. Okay? No typing. And there is no answer sheet for that one. You can write it down on your simple paper like you do your assignments. Take a picture, convert into a Word file, and send it to me. Right? Similarly, you need to rename it part 2. So how you can rename? Sorry guys. So you rename it as part 2, your name and student ID. That's it. Send it to me in Word file. Right? So any question regarding our midterm? And only from chapter 1 to chapter 13, what we have done, I think we did 4 chapters. Chapter 1, which is principles, and then the market forces for demand and supply, and then elasticity, and then cost of production. Right? 4 chapters. Let me write it down here. And also the graph, the law of supply and demand together. Like we did that, what happened, right? If something happened, this is a case of demand or supply, direction, and find out the new equilibrium. And you need to write down the final answer as well here. The new equilibrium going to be price increase, quantity decrease. If you just make the graph, right, and give me this, I don't know what's going on unless I read it, this one as well. So I would be giving you a sample solution as well. Okay, so please do follow the instructions, because I need to tell you right now, because students do make a mistake because there is going to be a time pressure, exam pressure. So normally they don't read the instructions. They just want to jump up to the solution. That's it. So you make a graph and then write it down the answer as well. For example, the price increase, the new price is going to be increased, or quantity decrease, or both increase or decrease whatsoever. Right? And that's it. Any more question regarding our midterm exam?
For the graphs, so we're gonna have graphs for the supply and demand laws and so on.
Yes,
We're not
not like how you make the graph, right? I'm gonna give you a table and you are going to write it down, upward sloping, downward sloping, no,
shifts and so on.
right? That's it. Only you need to write down, you can write down the graph like that. Shift in demand curve like this. Perfectly fine for me.
So we don't have to trace numbers and so on.
No, you don't need to write. That's enough.
Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
When you send the like questions, can we print and working on it?
Can you repeat?
When you send the questions, like when you send the file, can we print it and work on it?
Sure, you can do that. If you have a printer on
Okay.
in your room, you can print it out and you can solve it and write down your answer from there. You can use multiple strategies to do that. But I would be needing this file, not this file. That is only questions, true, false, MCQ, that's it. So I'm going to be needing this Word file back in time. That's it. If time's up, so they're going to be a negative marking. Or if more than 5 minutes, then I'm not going to accept your part one. I would strictly say that, sorry, you are not allowed to submit your part one. Right?
I'm confused. We're submitting both part 1 and part 2, right?
Yes. But part
files,
one
right?
gonna be, wait a second. I think I need to show you something.
Okay.
What do I mean by part one and part two? It's good you ask questions rather than creating a mess on midterm. Okay. So okay, let me give you, so for example, like I made my other course exam. So what do I mean by this part one and part two? So can you see a screen here? Oh, I need to share it first. So you see here, that is part one answer sheet. What all you have to do, write down your name here, student ID, that's it. And there's going to be another file which is PDF, that is questions. Subhan, Sufyan, Rodrigo, David, understand? Marilyn, Suho,
Yeah, I got it.
right? So all you have to do, write down the answer sheet, answer like this, or you can type, right? This is, for example, this is the B answer, this is D, this is E, this is A, right? All you have to do, fill like that. And then you need to click save and rename the file, because file name is part one MCQs answer sheet. So if all of you guys sending me this part one MCQs answer sheet file, then they're going to be overwriting, right? So that's why you need to rename that file as well. So you need to save it down, and all you have to do, let me also show you. Rename that part one, your name and student ID, and then you send me this file. You can send me on my private WeChat, or you can send me through email. Okay? Understand?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Good. And part two,